Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Matajis, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. My name is Tasha and I shall be your host for today. Before we start, kindly allow me to recite the Manglacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Shavaduttam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Gana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis. Today we are blessed to have the association of His Grace Hemarupa Chaitanya Prabhu from ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village. His Grace is a well-known speaker within our academy and needs no introduction. So without any further delay, let's welcome His Grace Hemarupa Prabhu to dive us into today's topic. Hare Krishna, Your Grace. You're welcome to take over the session.
Hare Krishna. So welcome to all devotees for another session. Today we're going to look at a verse in Bhagavad Gita, which is from the 6th chapter, and it's the 44th verse. We have entitled today's class, that faster than an elevator, more powerful than. So it was like a reminder. I'm not sure how many of us remember when we used to watch this Superman series, right? Superman cartoon and all. So there was this, like you can say like a theme song in the beginning. So they will always say, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, which is a train, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Who is that? Superman. So when I was reading this purport, I was feeling, faster than any elevator and more powerful than any rituals. And what is that? That is bhakti. So this purport in the 6th chapter, which talks about which talks about yoga, and Prabhupada very nicely says that the topmost yoga is bhakti. So we can see this verse here which is mentioned. So I'm just going to recite this. This is 6.44. Purvabhyasena Purva Abhyasena, that means by previous practice. Purva Abhyasena tenaiva Hriyate hi avasho pisaha. Vashaha means to control. In sometimes Tamil they say, Vashikaran, those who can control. Avashaha means who do not have control. Hriyate hi avasha apisaha. A person is attracted. So sorry, I think you have to go up. Yeah. A person is attracted just out of their control. They are not able to control their attraction. Jigyasu api yogyasya. And the person is very inquisitive also. Shabda Brahma. Brahmatvar vartate. The person is also, such a person has crossed over, avivartate, all kinds of Vedic scriptures. So here's explaining a yogi who in the past lives may have practiced yoga but had not completed successfully. They started the process of spirituality but not completed successfully. So Krishna says, what will happen to such a person? There is no problem. They will immediately be transferred to a pious next life where in that life, they do not know how, but naturally they're attracted to pious things, spiritual things, attracted to Shastra, attracted to maybe chanting, attracted to devotion. It seems like it's natural. Hriyate hi avasho api. Although there's no vasham, there's no control, still naturally attracted. So the purport, the translation, Prabhupada writes, by virtue of divine consciousness in his or her previous life, he or she automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands above the ritualistic principles of scriptures. So here Prabhupada mentions in the purport, he connects that how those who come to Krishna consciousness, one should understand that somehow or other, somewhere in their past lives, they must have, got some hint or taste or some practice by which this life they are starting again continuously. Many times we hear, no, bhakti is that process where you do 20%, and if you don't finish, you start back at 20%. Whereas all other processes of karma, jnana, whatnot, if you reach 20% and you do not complete, next life again you must start from zero. It does not carry forward. So bhakti here is something which carry forwards that impression, which pushes a person to, uh, strive to achieve devotional things. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, advanced yogis are not very much attracted to rituals of scriptures. So when they mention this, why is it so? We have to understand that Shastras have three schools: the Karma Kand, the Jnana Kand, and the Bhakti or the Upasana Kand. Now, generally, those in the Karma Kandi school, they are very much into rules, rituals, rites, and so forth. Whereas those in the other two schools, they follow to the basic minimum, but it's not their forte. They follow some, even a Jnani will follow, waking up early, washing, bathing, direction, whatever, basics, but not so much into the whole ritualists. So here Prabhupada saying advanced yogis, they are not very ritualistic, but they automatically become attracted to the principles of yoga. That means practice or connecting with the Lord. Like we do chanting. Chanting is a yoga. Sankirtana yoga, Sankirtana yagya, which can elevate them to complete Krishna consciousness. The highest yoga, perfection. And Prabhupada quotes a beautiful verse to prove that, which is mentioned in Bhagavatam. This verse is spoken by Mother Devahuti to her son Kapiladev, 3rd canto, 33rd chapter, 7th verse. How a person who has taken up to bhakti is beyond all the other processes. Aho batasva pachato kariyan. So this verse is very amazing. It says that Aho batasva. Aho bata. Oh wow. Oh amazing. Swapacha. Swapacha means swa means dog. Pacha means to digest actually. So who digests dogs? Those who eat dogs. Those who eat dogs. We're not talking about hot dogs. We're talking about real dogs. So those people who eat dogs, dog eaters, chandal, they call. There are many in this society, and there are many people who eat dogs. Aho bata, how glorious is even a dog eater. Aho batasva pachato gariyan. They are very exalted. Why are they exalted? Why are you glorifying a dog eater? Yad jiva agre vartate nama tubhyam. Because in the tip of the tongue, jihva, agre, he's taking the name of the Lord. So just see someone who chants the name of Hari, Krishna, Govinda, Rama, Madhusudana, Trivikrama. Just a little chanting. They use this word jiva agre, the tip of the tongue. That person becomes so glorified. How powerful is this holy name? Te pustapaste juhuvu sasnur arya. Tepas tapasaha. They go beyond those who are doing tapam, dabam, those who are doing juhuvu, those who are doing yagyam, sasnur, those who are taking bath in all the holy rivers, arya, they become the most refined gentlemen. Brahma Nuchurnama Grananti Yete. And they cross even the Brahmana. Brahma here means Vedas, Shastras. They even cross the principles as if they have studied all the Vedas. So here they're mentioning how just by chanting the holy names in this life, one is to be understood that he has already qualified in all the earlier prerequisites. There's no need for rituals. There's no need for extensive study of how you say technical matters. We do study. We study the Bhakti Shastras. We study Krishna Leela. We do study about the spiritual world, Brahma Samhita. That is our study. But there's no need for technical other aspects. There's so many aspects to study, right? There's no need to I must every year go and bathe in all the holy places. You can bathe in the holy name, right? So Prabhupada writes the translation here. Oh my Lord, person who chants the holy names of your lordship are far, far advanced in spiritual life, even if born in families of dog eaters. So here's a Shastric proof from Srimad Bhagavatam, where chanting is not a beginner's activity actually. Chanting the holy name is a very advanced activity. Such chanters have undoubtedly performed all kinds of austerities, all kinds of sacrifices, and bathed in all kinds of sacred places and finished all scriptural studies. That is the understanding. If one takes up to the chanting of the holy name wholeheartedly, is to be understood that they have understand this. Last paragraph, Prabhupada writes an example to this. The famous example of this was presented by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who accepted Thakur Haridas as one of his most important disciples. Although Thakur Haridas happened to take his birth in a Muslim family, so Haridas Thakur is the Namacharya, right, who chants 192 rounds every day. Many of our devotees chant 16 rounds. Haridas Thakur chants 192 rounds. It takes 22 hours. Recently, during this last Shashti, right? So today is Ekadasi. Last Shashti, there was this a disappearance day of Haridas Thakur. So in our temple here in India, in Govardhan Eco Village, on that day, it's called Ananta Chaturdasi. So sorry, on Chaturdasi, right? So we had a program where everyone chanted for whole day, 192 rounds. That was a very purifying experience. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate Haridas Thakur, he was elevated to the post of Namacharya by Lord Chaitanya due to his rigidly attending the principle of chanting 300,000 holy names a day. That's 192 rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And because he chanted the holy name of the Lord constantly, it is understood that in his previous life he must have passed through all the ritualistic methods of the Vedas known as Shabda Brahma. Unless, therefore, one is purified, one cannot take to the principles of Krishna consciousness or become engaged in the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna. So, someone in this life who takes up to Hare Krishna, it's a very, very amazing thing. One should understand that the person is purified enough to accept this. So, taking from this purport, taking from this verse, how bhakti is, um, more powerful than anything, right? Just like Superman is faster than a speeding bullet and more powerful than locomotive. So bhakti is also more faster than any elevator. It can elevate you the fastest. And it's more powerful than any rituals that one may perform because it can totally purify a person life after life. Whereas rituals may purify a person for one lifetime. Today we thought we'll discuss about bhakti, and so here's some stories about the power of glories of bhakti, Bhagavan and Bhakta. So as you all know, today is Indira Ekadasi, and most of you I'm sure have read or heard the Ekadasi Mahatmya of a person called Indra Sen. And Indra Sen, somehow or other, his father, although a devotee and devoted person, was in hell, and he was told to, observe this Indira Ekadasi by which you can free the forefathers. It's very interesting that this current period that we're in right now, just a couple of years ago, I think maybe last 5, 6 years, there's a huge hype on this Pitru Paksha. So everywhere, there used to be there's a lot of prayers, but it was selected community. But now because of social media and a lot of different things, so Pitru Paksha has become very famous. Prayers for the Pitru, prayers for the forefathers. So let's see what is all this about. And so this Pitru Paksha began from Purnima, which was on 7th September, and will end in Amavasya, which is on 21st September. 15 days, 15 days from Purnima to Amavasya. It is known as Mahalaya. So this Ekadasi is also called as Mahalaya Ekadasi, this Indira Ekadasi. Now, why these 15 days? What is it? Why do we offer? Actually, the main thing done in this period is pujas and offerings. But the main thing is actually you offer some bhoga, some naivedyam to the Pitru, and especially Vishnu Prasad, right? Food which is offered to Lord Vishnu. So let's understand what the logic of this. According to our Shastras, 1 year that we spend in earth, one whole year spent in earth is equal to one whole day of those in the upper planetary systems. So 6 months is their pagi, their morning, and 6 months is like their malam. So 1 year is their one whole day. Shastras mention that animals eat 3 times a day. Okay, don't get me wrong on this. Animals eat 3 times a day. Humans eat twice a day. And those who are in the upper planetary systems, the Deval Loka and all, they eat once a day. Okay. Someone asked me, oh, Prabhu, I say ISKCON devotees eat all the time, eat the whole day. So those in the upper planetary system, they eat once a day. So in 1 year, our 1 year is their 1 day. 15 days of our time is their 1 hour. So actually, what is this Pitru Paksha? This Pitru Paksha is their lunch period. This Pitru Paksha, this 15 days is actually their lunch period. Their 1 hour recess time, canteen time. So this is the time that actually the Pitrus need some nourishment, some eating. So if you observe all 15 days and offer them, then they get a feast there. So this is why people do puja. But sadly, I once visited Varanasi during this time. Varanasi is very packed at this time, filled with South Indians, all doing pujas and yagyas and all for their forefathers. So, many times in many places, they, if you ask people why you do Pitru Puja, so their first answer is, I want to be free from Pitru Dosh. Right? I don't want to have any bad impacts. Pitru Dosha, what is Pitru Dosha? Pitru Dosha means something wrong somewhere in the forefathers, which causes you some ailment, some sickness, death after marriage, death to a newborn child, uh, bad luck in the family. This all could be some misgivings happening. There's so many reasons to it. So many people do puja just to settle all those things. They're not worried that, oh, let me elevate my grandfather, my great grandfather. He was such a bad man. Let me help them. People are not worried about helping them getting a sadgati. They are worried that, Baba, you don't disturb me. So therefore, they're doing puja nowadays. So, anyways, whatever the reason may be. So people are doing a lot of prayers and pujas for this 15 days. What about devotees? This what we discuss is for those who are not taken to the path of bhakti. What about devotees? For devotees, in Shastras have mentioned that, okay, if you have facility, if you have ability, you have the chance, for example, let's say, so happen to be at the Varanasi during that time, there's someone asks you to do something, okay, fine. But a devotee will never, uh, won't want to take so much effort to go out of the way to do all this. Because understanding Shastra has already mentioned, if one who practices devotion, for a devotee, every day they are eating Vishnu Prasad. A devotee, every day they're offering food to Vishnu. Every day they are consuming. The benefit goes to the Pitrus. There's also a shloka which comes in Shastra, right? That Nirtyanti Pitaras Sarve Nirtyanti Cha Pitamaha Mat Vamshi Vaishnava Jata Sametrata Bhavishyati. The Pitras are dancing. Nirtyante Pitras Sarve. All the Pitrus, whoever. Now we don't know actually. We think everyone's up. There could be some people down also. We don't know. But whoever's up there, whoever's stuck there, Nirtyante, they are dancing. Nirtyante Chapitamaha, all the great grandparents, they're all dancing. Why? They are saying, Mat Vamshe, Yenoda Vamsham. In my line, Mat Vamshe, Vaishnava Jataha. Someone has become a Vaishnava. Yo, thank God. Sa me, he, they, Saha me, Trata Bhavishyati. They will free me in the future. So this is so powerful of practicing Vaishnava principles. Now Vaishnava humility may say, oh Prabhu, but I'm not a devotee. I'm very fallen. I have so much material desires. Okay, whatever. That is you, but the process is perfect. The process of chanting Hare Krishna, taking Krishna Prasadam, studying the Shastras. So, in this way, we can see that while these 15 days are there to attract the outside people, while these 15 days are there to attract all the other people to become a little more religious, to become a little more pious, to become a little more dutiful, to become a little more conscious of their living and their ancestors' living. For devotees, every day we are living a life of the same thing, of worshipping the Lord, offering to Krishna, chanting, worshipping. So for a devotee, these periods are like, not so much of a difference. Because just by being a devotee, mat vamshe Vaishnava jhata, same trarishtati bhavishyati. So this is something that devotees need to have faith in, need to understand the power of bhakti. Now, let's see another interesting thing about this. So on 7th September, as we know, Bhadra Purnima started. Bhadra Purnima is also the day in Srimad Bhagavatam where Bhagavatam is actually glorified. It is said that on this day one should receive Bhagavatam. So from Bhadra Purnima in this period also we are telling people take Bhagavatam, take Bhagavatam. You may not be able to go to Varanasi, you may not be able to go to Gaya, you may not be able to go this and that, but at least take Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam. In anytime it's great, but in this period is even more okay, no problem. Right? At least forefathers will be happy. Of course, other times of forefathers will be happy only. So it's also very interesting that on the day after Bhadra Purnima in 1959, September 17th, 1959, just as when Pitru Paksha started, Srila Prabhupada also accepted sannyas. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, just as this Pitru Paksha started, he accepted sannyas. Sannyasa, as we know, is a dedication. Sannyasa, as we know, is an announcement, a declaration that I am totally firmly fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. And Prabhupada had one dedicated vow that was to free the ghost-like people of this world. Right? Everyone is worried about the Pitru and the Preta and the Bhutas, and someone is stuck in some condition. But Srila Prabhupada is saying that all jivas, whether living or departed, everyone is stuck in this material world. Oh my God, take up this danda. Now let me go around the world and preach. So the beginning of Pitru Paksha, when everyone is running to do some yagya, Prabhupada took sannyas and he said that let me go and preach and let me deliver this world of all the ghost-like inhabitants. 6 years later, 6 years later, the very same day, September 17th, 1969. He took sannyas on September 17th, 1959. On September 17th, 1969, this was also during the Pitru Paksha period, somewhere right in the middle of the Pitru Paksha actually, right in the middle of the 15 days, 17th September 1965, Srila Prabhupada reached USA. He reached Boston after 6 years after taking sannyas. Right? I'm sure you must have heard some pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. You know in between how he struggled after sannyas. So Prabhupada on 17th September 1965, he reached America. Prabhupada's determination after 35 days of ship travel, Prabhupada was so determined that now I've come to the land. And that time he was dealing with hippies who were like ghost-like people, taking drugs, intoxicated. So Prabhupada again in this Pitru Paksha actually came to do the work of delivering. Most importantly, we should remember, what did Prabhupada bring? Prabhupada only brought two things, the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada did not bring any rules, rituals, did not bring any, different kinds of modern this and that. But Prabhupada only brought two things, holy name and Bhagavatam. Because these two tools done every day, if these two things done during this time is very powerful for the Pitrus, if you do it every day, why not is powerful for everything? So with this faith, Prabhupada started preaching. Now again, we must understand um, that, although nowadays our own temples, ISKCON temples, the temple where I am from, so we have this Pitru Paksha Seva, we kind of promote, that please give donation if you want to, do some puja for your ancestors, because this attracts a lot of people who are not devotees. But many of us who are practicing devotees, we especially hold faith that chanting and Bhagavatam, this is most powerful. How we'll understand this? Let us see from one story. So now today's story begins. Okay, this story comes from Padma Purana in the Uttarakanda section called Bhagavata Mahatmya, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam? And it's very much related to our topic of this. You know, Bhakti is so powerful, even more powerful than any rituals or this paksha that we are in. So once there's a Brahmana by the name Atmadev, and this Atmadeva was a very pious, nice Brahmana. So he married one lady, Brahmani, by the name Dhunduli. Dhunduli was a very beautiful lady, but she's very harsh in speech. She's a little cruel, quite self-absorbed, a little selfish. So both of them, somehow or other, because of whatever, they could not have children. And they did not have children for a long time. Atmadev was wanting to have a child, but he could just never have a child. Finally, at some point of time, Atmadev was thinking, what is the use of life? What is the use of getting married and having all this if I don't have a child? Chanakya says, right? Putram heenam graham shunyam. If you're married, having a child should be there. So he was feeling so bad. Why am I so impious that I can't have a child? So he said, enough with this. Let me go to the forest then. What is the use of staying here? He was worried that if I don't have a child, who will do puja for me? Who will do pindadanam for me? He's a Brahmana, na? He was worried. So he went to the forest and he was crying in the woods, fasting. One day he came across a sadhu. This sadhu was also sitting in the jungle, meditating, doing bhajan. He sees Atmadev and he says, my dear Brahmana, what's wrong with you? Why are you so sad? Atmadev says that, oh, my dear sir, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? I am so unfortunate. So many years I've been married, but we are not even blessed with a child. Are we so sinful? So the sadhu was thinking, okay, sometimes it happens. So what? Just continue. No, 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 no. I want a son. He said, leave it now. Why are you pushing? No, no, I want a son. And Atmadev was become more intense. Sadhu said that, look, whatever God has given, whatever Daiva has given, better to accept. Don't fight. He says, no, but I want a son. You are Sadhu. Please do something. Sadhu is thinking, my God. He says, in Shastra come one story of Chitraketu. Chitraketu Maharaj also was destined not to have a son. Still, he fought his karmas and tried to get a son. What happened? The son was the source of big headache for him. உங்களுக்கு தேவையா? He says, huh? You think this is needed for you? Why you want to fight your karma? If it's something written, you have to live with it. No, no, no. What will happen to me then if I have no child? Who will take care of me? What will happen to me? He's worried. He says, better don't. And Atmadev becomes more intense. Sadhu Maharaj, please, I beg you, give me a child, give me a son, give me a son, give me a son, give me a son. He was repeating. Sadhu was feeling, my God. Sadhu puts his hand in his bag, removes a fruit, and he says, here, take this fruit. Go and give to your wife. Let her eat. And by eating this, she will become pregnant. But, oh Atmadev, tell your wife that as long as she is bearing the child, she should have good consciousness. She should actually worship, pray, and she should be very kind, not harsh in speech. This is what advice he gives. And we understand this. This is actually what the mood is, no? Because whatever they think, whatever the thought, that will enter the child. So he's very happy. He takes the apple. He runs home. He sees his wife, Dunduli. He says, Dunduli, Dunduli, Amma, come, come, come. Take this fruit. One sadhu in the jungle has blessed me. By eating this fruit, you will become pregnant. And he is very happy. Gave the whatever fruit to the wife and he goes. But Dunduli was kind of like nowadays, sometimes the modern ladies, marry but don't want to have children. So she was a little, I don't want to get all this pregnancy, child, while, not interested. So she went and talked to her best friend. He said, look, my husband is crazy after a child. I have no interest. He gave me this fruit and I'm worried that he will come and ask me later. So the friend told that, don't eat. Simple as that. Throw it away. Don't eat. He said, if I don't eat and then child doesn't come, what will husband think? So something we have to do. So she said, hey, Dunduli, you have a sister, right, staying nearby? And your sister is also now pregnant. So tell you one thing, right? Why don't you take your sister's child? So this Dunduli was thinking, not bad idea. Goes to the sister, explains the whole story. Sister said, "ठीक है, no problem. I'll give my child to you only." Right? Sister was also as cunning as her. Sister thought, what I'll get in return, I will get to stay in this house because Atmadev was a rich man. Two of them only long so many years. They had a lot of money. Atmadev was a rich man. He said, "Oh, I will also get to stay here. My husband is so poor." So this Dunduli's sister was also very smart. She said, "No problem, no problem." Then both ladies were thinking, what to do with this apple or this fruit? They said, just feed it to the cows. Who knows whether the sadhu is saying truth or not? So Dunduli takes their fruit and throw to the cows. And the cow also eat the fruit. Now, fast forward 9 months. All this while Dunduli is putting some pillow or what, I don't know. It's not mentioned in Padma Puran. But, but her sister is delivered to a child. Sister delivers the child. Dunduli takes the child and shows her husband. My dear husband, my see, this is our child. This is our child. He said, "Oh, this is your son. So happy, so happy. But my dear husband, there's one problem." He said, "What's the problem?" "That somehow or other, my breasts are not giving milk. They're dried. Huh? I cannot give milk. So how will I feed the child?" So Atmadev said, "My God, what to do now?" Say, "No, my dear husband, don't worry. Actually, recently my sister also gave birth, but her child died. So can my sister come and live with us?" He said, "Yeah, why not? No problem." And so that's how the sister also came. The sister was nourishing the child. And Atmadev was so happy because his wife gave him a child. His wife name is Dunduli. He named the child Dundukari, right? Dundukari, who is caused by Dunduli. He was so happy. At that same time, the cow also gave birth. Now someone may be thinking, Prabhu, how long is cow pregnancy? How long? So cows and humans are same, almost same, huh? 9 months. Cows 9 months, 9 months, 10 days. So quite similar time period. So the cow also gave birth. And the cow gave birth and the child was human child. So luscious, so glowing, so shining, so wonderful, but he had cow ears. So someone found this child in the house of Atmadev and comes and tell Atmadev, see this Vichitra, this Acharya cheese has happened. What? This cow in your house has given birth to a human child with cow ears, the divine. So Atmadev was thinking, oh wow, I wanted a child and God has given me two child. That too, one is a divine child. So he takes this child and he names the child Gokarna. So now these two children start to grow up in the house. Gokarna, being born from that sadhu's fruit, was very, very pious, very, very good, very, very wonderful. He was the pride of Atmadev. Dhundukari, who Atmadev felt was his actually own child, this boy was so mischievous. He would hurt people, beat people, steal, lie. And as they were growing up, things became even worse. This Dhundukari started to go out, gamble, drink, steal, enjoy with so many different kind of prostitutes that basically he was wasting all his father's wealth. At the end, Atmadev thought that, my God, you know, I wanted a child, but child become like this. If child was like this, better to have no child, right? Better to have no child than an impious child. This is similar to in Bhagavatam also, the Anga, King Anga episode, Vena. Anga also wanted a son, and he got Vena, who was a very horrible, demoniac child. And he was saying that better to have no child than such a demoniac child. So Atmadev was so fed up and he was crying to Gokarna. And Gokarna would come and talk to his father that, don't worry, my dear father. What is son? What is father? We are all jivas. We are all travelers in this world. Don't take things too seriously. You did your dharma. You did your part. Go now. Forget it. Atmadev, hearing this, he leaves for the jungle and he perfects his life. He leaves. Who is stuck at home now? At home, stuck is Dundukari and Dunduli, the mother, right? And this Gokarna. So Gokarna also felt very difficult in the brother's house. He also grew big and he left. Now stuck is Dunduli. Dundukari started to enjoy. He bring many women to stay with him at home, all prostitutes. And mother became very tension. And one day he needed money. So he went to his mother, Dunduli. He said, Amma, give me money now. I want money. I say, where to get money? Everything finished. Give me money or else night I'll come and kill you. And the mother became shocked. My God, what is this boy speaking? And her mind was totally disturbed, no? Anytime this boy can kill me, anytime this boy can kill me, anytime this boy can kill me. And she was so worried. Like that saying, one day she was walking at night, she fell into a well and died. Mother died like that. Now only Dundukari is in the house alone. And he has so many ladies living with him. And they are demanding, you are our protector, you are our enjoyer, you are our beloved. Give us gold, give us cloth. That's why we are with you. Because, of course, they also have a selfish in. They are selling their body, but they want something material. And this man, being so handpacked for sensual enjoyments, he said, no, no, I should satisfy them. What to do, what to do. He went out and he started stealing. He steal people's clothes, he steal people's jewelry, and he would come home and give all the so many different prostitutes. Now, these prostitutes, they were all discussing among themselves. Look at this dress, look at this gold. Hey, this is அந்த வீடோட தானே இந்த வீடோட தானே. They know where it all come from, this house, that house. They said, look, our husband now, not husband, whatever, our paramour now is broke, right? And he's stealing all this and giving us. Tomorrow, if the king comes to know that he's a number one thief, they will arrest him. There'll be no use. So I think better we just leave him. Useless fella. They said, leave him. But he's also a very cruel person. How can we just leave like that? He will beat us. He will catch us. So all the ladies start thinking, one thing we'll do. When Dundukari was sleeping, all this lady who enjoyed him, enjoyed with him, and gave him enjoyment, they came around him, and tied his neck to strangle him. But such a person that all this lady tried to strangle him with rope and tried to tie his neck, still he didn't die. He was just struggling and suffering. Immediately the lady saw the fireplace and took all the burning log and wood and put on his face. And like that, Dundukari, hot on his face, burned, suffocated, and died by those women. And this woman stole whatever he had and ran away. Right? So it gives us a very powerful lesson actually. When material desires are not fulfilled, cannot trust anyone. When between any relationship, if there's material desires, very dangerous. The relationship is very superficial, right? Anytime the lover can cause harm, so-called, lover can cause harm. So very dangerous. So now here's Dundukari dead, face burned, suffocated, died, choke. And he becomes a very great demon. He becomes a very big Rakshas because of his papa. Somehow or other, Gokarna, the good brother, was in another place, and villagers had told him that, yo, your brother passed away. He said, really? He felt so bad. That time he was going on Tirtha Yatra. He was traveling. So he went to Gaya, Bodh Gaya. He went in Bihar. He went to Gaya, famous place for Pindadanam. And there he remembered that my brother has already passed away so many years. Let me pray for him. And he starts doing Pindam and prays that he gets a good gati. So many years later, one day this Gokarna decides, let's come back to village. And when he came back to the village, he came to that same house. And he saw the house, nobody is staying. He felt so bad. This was my father's house. My brother died like this. My mother fell in the well and died. So inauspicious. So Gokarna came to that house and just sat down to remember old memories. And there he lied down. But what was roaming around the house? What was roaming around the property? It was the Dundukari demon. Still, so many years he was roaming around. When he saw this person lying down, he went to attack him. Because so many years, he lost his memory. He was not thinking properly. So many years, he so want to attack him. But when this Gokarna woke up, he appeared in front of him, very scary form. But Gokarna was not scared. This is a real characteristic of a devotee, actually. Right? A real characteristic of a devotee that he should not be akuto bhayam. There's no fear, even of the worst fear of death. So he was looking at him. He says, who are you? And a fierce, scary form coming. And he felt so distinct. He took some water, said some prayers, and just threw. And that became the first Pindadanam. When we do Pindam, we offer water, right? So actually, Dundukari as a ghost, was so thirsty because no one had offered him any offering. So when he gave that water, that became like an first offering. He became a little shantam. His memory came. He said, "Oh, I'm your brother. I'm Dundukari. Hey, Gokarna, you remember me or not? I'm your brother." And Gokarna said, "How is it possible? When I heard that you died, I went to Gaya. And in Gaya, I offered you Pindadanam. In Gaya, I did Shraddha for you. How is it possible you're still a ghost? What can be more powerful than Shraddha in Gaya?" And Dundukari said, "My dear brother, I am the worst of the worst of the worst. Even Shraddha in Gaya could not save me. You please find some way now. I am struggling too much. Please relieve me." And like that, the ghost spirit went here, went there, went here, and entered some tree and all that. Now, Gokarna was feeling very bad, Whatever said and done is my duty now to help my family members. So let me help my brother. He goes to some Brahmanas, he starts praying, he asks them. The Brahmanas offered prayer to Surya Dev, and Surya Dev speaks this verse, which comes in Padma Puran. Surya Dev says that only one way to liberate such malevolent, mischievous, horrible situation, which is to glorify the Lord unlimitedly, especially by reading that Purana called Bhagavata Purana, which starts from Janmadi Asya Yataha. It's mentioned like that. So Bhagavatam starts, if you see the very first verse, Janmadi Asya Yataha. So Surya Dev says this, and Sapta Ratriam, 7 nights you do this. 7 nights you continue reading, everything will be done. So Gokarna was very convinced. And he says, "I will do this." Because anyways, this is what we do. So he went to the place under the tree where Dundukari had entered a bamboo with 7 knots, the markings on the bamboo, like the sections, that's called knots. So the bamboo had 7 knots and he entered it, Dundukari, and Gokarna was sitting and all the Brahmanas were sitting in front and he started doing Bhagavad Saptaha, 7 days Bhagavad Katha, speaking about Bhagavatam, glorifying the character of the Lord, nature of the Lord, the devotees, process of bhakti. Each day finished, 1 knot would burst. Second day, 1 knot will burst. Third night, 1 knot. And the seventh day, all the knots burst, and Dundukari achieved a form like Vishnu and went to Vaikuntha. Everyone was amazed. Brahmanas were asking, day, irunga. Wait. He heard, we also heard. He went back to Godhead. Why we didn't go back? We are still here. What happened? This conversation comes in Padma Purana. So Gokarna says, actually, his intensity was more. He was totally focused. Sometimes, like now, class is going on. While I'm speaking, I'm also thinking something else. While you are hearing, you're also thinking something else, right? So our attention is not very strong. So that's why it takes us a long time. But Dundukari, after so many years of suffering, he was so eager, nothing else. I'm focused. So therefore, he got the immediate benefit. So one should lend ears, one should actually give attention to the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why we do Nityam Bhagavata Seva. Every day we hear from Shastras, we read Srila Prabhupada books so that, we don't have constant absorption, but at least Anudinam, daily we'll have the practice and at least something will stick in this head and this heart that we have. So by this process, then Dundukari got liberated. Now, what about Gokarna? It is mentioned that in the following month, Gokarna did another Bhagavad Saptah. And after reciting for 7 days, he himself went home back to Godhead. So we can see the power of Srimad Bhagavatam and especially the power of the Bhakti Marg, the process of Bhakti. Bhakti makes things very simple and easy. At the same time, it is very powerful. So those who haven't taken up to Bhakti, especially by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, one need not worry or need not bother too much about other processes, other rituals, which are not given anyways in the Bhakti Shastra. One, in fact, need to solidify one's faith that yes, Krishna karma krita hoy, right? That um, uh, just by chanting Krishna's name, sarva karma krita hoy, that all work will be done, right? Krishna koile, just by telling the name of Krishna, that sarva karma krita hoy, that all work will be perfected. One should have this faith. And someone is still doubtful, but how, Prabhu? I need a little this, I need a little that. Sometimes we are very doubtful, no? It's like many people, when they buy insurance, then they buy insurance for insurance, or they keep two insurance in case one black backfires. One they keep, we like to be a little safe. I have one bank account, keep another bank account. One insurance, keep another insurance. I have one job, let's have a second job. I have four tires, keep a spare tire. We think we are being safe, but that's fine for other things, but not for bhakti. It's not like, let me do a little bhakti, keep a little karma kand, just in case chanting Hare Krishna doesn't work. Maybe this yagya will work. Just in case Bhagavatam reading doesn't work, maybe this Pindadan will work. So we cannot two-time Krishna, right? No one likes being two-timed, two-timing people. So we cannot two-time Krishna. That we, according to Shastras only we are following. According to our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, only what he has given us. And Shastras have written, if you read all the glorifications of the holy names, right? There are so many glorifications which come in the Bhagavatam. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobam helanam eva va Vaikunta Nama Grahanam Asheshaga Haram Vidu. That even by Sanketyam chanting, simply chanting, no? Like we have in Malaysia, Kadai Pakayan Hari Hari. Even that is very powerful actually. Kadai Pakayan Hari Hari. Sanketyam Parihasyam, jokingly someone says Hari Hari. That's also right. Stobham, right? One says neglectfully, one says criticizingly. What you Hare Krishna people, huh? Useless. Still Hare Krishna, Lord counts, right? So these are people who don't have faith. Even if people don't have faith, they chant. Bhagavatam says they Asheshaga Haram Vidhu. They get so much benefit. Then what about those who are faithful? So the only task we have in devotional service is to build faith, improve on your Shraddha. Then you don't have to worry about other kinds of Shraddha. Don't worry about Shraddha if you have Shraddha. So of course, when we are with family, when we're non-devotees, and someone says, do these prayers, no, just in front of everyone, we may just do it for the namesake. But don't two-time Krishna. In case this doesn't work, I'll do this. It won't work. This is super. This is working only. Right? So, like this, we discussed today about how most powerful process that we have is bhakti. This is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We also discuss how during this period, Indira Ekadasi today, right, especially coming in this Pitrupaksha, that specifically for delivering forefathers. We also discussed that how nowadays people they do Pitru Puja, but it's more of like Pitru don't disturb me rather than I want to help you. And we see the mood of a Vaishnava or the mood of the Pitrus for a Vaishnava. Nirtyante Pritara Sarve, Nirtyante Chapitamaha, Mat Vamshe Vaishnava Jata Same Trata Bhavishyati. Wherever Vaishnava takes birth, Vaishnava means who takes Krishna Prasad, who chants Krishna's name, who tries their best to achieve Krishna Prem. That is a Vaishnava. Such a person, even their forefathers are extremely benefited. We saw how Srila Prabhupada himself took sannyas at the very beginning of Pitru Paksh, whether it was intentionally or not, I don't know. I'm just drawing some parallels, right? To deliver the ghost-like people of this world, who all of us were just wandering around, right? Thinking we're doing something. And then he reached also US at the time to deliver. He only carried holy name and Bhagavatam. And then we saw from the story of in Padma Purana of Bhagavata Mahatmya of Atmadev, Dunduli, Dundukari, and Gokarna, how the recitation of Bhagavatam, study of Bhagavatam is extremely purifying. So sometimes people who have Shani dosha, this dosha, that dosha, really, if one actually takes to the study of daily reading Srimad Bhagavatam, it's very, very powerful. The example we have seen in ISKCON only. So many foreigners, people who haven't heard the name of Rama, Krishna, those with whatever backgrounds, just by chanting, just by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, lives have become changed. We see it within our own lives also. So, as devotees, as followers of Lord Chaitanya, this is a wonderful opportunity to increase our faith and practice in the path of bhakti. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Your Grace. Thank you so much for today's enlightening class. Next, we can take a few questions from the devotees. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat box. Prabhu, there's a question.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can we say that children born in the devotee family are continuing their bhakti life? If so, then now it's a challenge for us to raise them up in Krishna conscious environment. Why is that so, Prabhu?
Yeah. So children born in devotee family, the trouble is basically, familiarity is one. Secondly, sometimes, well, we are not blaming parents, but the reality is that parents also somewhat came to Krishna consciousness in the mid of their life sometimes. And maybe they have not gotten the training also. So, how to train a devotee, right? How to train a child? Sometimes they may be a little lacking because training an outside child, which nowadays people, anyways, they don't train. So, taking up a child like an outsider and taking up a child like a devotee is a lot of difference. So I remember one devotee was sharing that he speaks Bhagavatam in anywhere he goes, to newcomers, to children, to old people. I said, how do you speak Bhagavatam to old people and children and non-devotees and corporates? He said, Prabhu, if you relish the subject matter, you know how to present it. I was very amazed. If you relish the subject matter, you know how to present it. So sometimes probably our approach to bringing up children in ISKCON, in devotee, has to be a little different. Parents are mostly scared. Chant, 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 chant. Why are you not chanting? How many rounds did you today? Chant your mantra. But they don't sit to explain about chanting, don't sit to talk about the glories of holy name. I interact with many devotee children who are born devotees. And then many of them do not know many basic things. I'm very shocked actually. They have not heard so much about the acharyas. They have not heard about the so many Gaudiya books. They have not heard about different philosophies. And I'm thinking that your parents are temple presidents or your parents are very busy preachers and devotees. They don't discuss this with you. So sometimes, we also take it for granted that, oh, he's a born devotee, na? He must have heard everything already. But the way we can give like a syllabus for their training, I think that is requires some discussion. Especially books like Jaiva Dharma and books like, so many things are there. The writings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, writings of Narottam Das Thakur. So they know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But now parents have to go beyond that also. First, to give, you have to have. To give, you have to have. So it's again falls on the onus of the parent, right? That to give whatever you want to give to the child, you can't keep for 20 years, telling them Krishna is Supreme God. They know. But now what? So that kind of exposure, training, guidance, that also has to come. I guess that's why most people get bored and don't take it too seriously. There's more forceful than understanding. This is what I think. Anyways, that's why the challenge is there.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Prabhu, you have one more question.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a joke, people chant the holy name jokingly. They would say Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, regardless of their background. Does that mean they also have done all kind of austerities and tapasya? Please explain, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So when they say that those who have taken to the chanting of the holy name, they mean that people who have faith. So, I mean, I don't have any graphics, but try to visualize this. There's a bandwidth of different bands. The lowest bandwidth is Nam Aparad, offensive chanting. Those who, follow all the 10 offenses, right? Nam Aparad. Above that, there is a big bandwidth called Nam Abhas, the shadow chanting of the holy name. In this, there's two bandwidths inside this Nam Abhas. One is Ashraddha Nam Abhas, which is bordering to aparat, faithless chanting, like these people who are joking and all, they are faithless chanting, and faithful chanting, which we are in, understanding the 10 offenses, trying our best, although failing at it, right? Chanting attentively, chanting, trying, but still having anarthas, no problem. This is Shraddha Namabhas, right? And then upmost is Shuddha Nam, pure chanting. So when this verse Aho Bataso Pachato Garyan, they are talking about the upper level. People who are very convinced with chanting, they are to be understood that they have done all. People who are joking, they come in this Ashraddha Namabha, Sanketyam, Parihasyam, Stobam, Helanam. What is the Gati? those who are at least doing Shraddha Namabhas, they can get Prema. But those who are doing Ashraddha Namabhas, they can get Mukti. Now, hearing this, if you say, Prabhuji, paravaladane, Mukti da, Muktiyon seri da, then there's a big problem. If you say that, hey, Prabhu, never mind la, Mukti also okay, what? Good, what? Mukti also no problem la. If you cannot buy new car, buy second hand car. Mercedes only, what? Cannot like that. Right? That is not a devotee, right? For Mukti is, there's no enjoyment when you're living an adventurous life in Krishna Bhakti, and then you say, someone who driven a new car, and then he said, let me get a second hand. Nay, it doesn't work that way. So they may get mukti. The devotees are not envious, they're not jealous. They find it what mukti. Even the demons get mukti. So someone who is joking, they are not to be understood, they have done all this. This is for the Shraddha Namabhas people. Okay, I hope if you can imagine 1, 2, 3, Kwe Lapis, right? Nam Aparat, Ashraddha Namabhas, Nam Abhas, and Shuddha Nam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And yeah. Thank you once again, Your Grace, for today's spiritually uplifting class, and we truly appreciate your association and look forward to the next session with you, Prabhu. And with that, we've come to the end of today's session. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Matajis, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again next week for another spiritually inspiring topic. All glories to their lordships, Sri Lakshmi Narayana, all glories to Sri Radha Madhava Astasakis, all glories to Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, all glories to Sri Gauranitai, all glories to the Sampradaya Acharyas, all glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. BJKL guiding from within. Hare Krishna Prabhus and Matajis. Good night.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu,
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu,
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Mataji, thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tasha Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, thank you so much. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I end the session?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.